Ritz, all right, so we're here at the Penn Relays, coming off a very, very big weekend, especially here on Saturday. I mean, talk to me just about the initial reactions after so many amazing performances.
It's been, Penn is always amazing. You get in here and it was beautiful the last 2 days. Today was a little windy, a little blustery, but the atmosphere is, like what everybody wants. That's what you get here. And so you get all the fans down on this lower level, and it's so loud. And so we had some really good performances. It was great for. I was really, really happy with Ollie's race. A huge step forward from 2 weeks ago, and he just gets stronger all the time. I think on a really good day, he runs a lot faster, so he's in a really good spot. And Yared pulled out the win, he was a gamer. He was kind of last minute. I asked him if he wanted to do it, and he kind of was unslated to maybe pace, and he's like, I'd definitely rather race than pace. So he was great. And then I was really happy with Mario's race. Mario looked really good. His indoor season was a little bit shaky, but we figured out a few things, and he looked really, really good. I was happy with real 800-meter guys. He was really, really, really positive race for him. And then Sage was great. She kind of, we just kind of wanted to dust the wheels off a little bit, so she didn't really want to leave, but then she was there, and then she said she kind of wanted to wait and kick, and she looked super strong down the stretch. And then I think across the board everybody looked really, really good. And I mean, even Cinta, she came off a little injury, and so it was in the fall or in the winter, and so I mean, it was kind of like a sloppy 800, but I think it was just good for her to get out there and kind of kick the tires a little bit. But everybody was really good, and we just love the atmosphere here, and it's a lot of fun, and it's a great way for us to mostly kick off the outdoor season for everybody.
What do these performances kind of show you about what you guys are going to be able to do going into international meets in June and July?
Yeah, end of April and in Philly, you never know what you're going to get, and I think we get so used to the kind of races where everything's set up with light wave lights and perfect conditions, and you're used to those summer performances. But for us, this is a great chance to get in here, get close to the crowd. I mean, the atmosphere, you get the field is packed with people, bodies. It's just different, and I think you got to keep in touch with that, before we get into the actual races that are, big diamond leagues, lead ups into the trials, things like that. So for us, it was a great chance to kind of see where the winner has been, and everybody's in a really good place, and so I think we were really happy with it.
Yeah, in the last few years, I mean, On and the Penn Relays have kind of become synonymous a little bit. What's it like to see your brand, see your team have a lot of success at such a really, really big meet?
I think for us, it's a lot of validation, seeing the growth of fans, especially. Like the first year we did this, no one knew who we were. They would try to do some marketing and things like that. And last year it was, the weather wasn't great, but we saw this increase. And then this year, like, Yared can't walk around. We couldn't do his pre-meet yesterday, and he's just such a big star now. And so our athletes have a fan base now, and you get close to the athletes, the high school athletes, and this is such a big deal about that they get to share that track. And I think that's something that makes it special for the athletes, for our athletes, but for those athletes too. They get to share the race with, these professional runners. It's pretty incredible for them. And so for our brand to be able to step in big, this is our first really big marketing campaign in sponsorship for a race, and I think it's been great.
What's the kind of conversations between Yared and Ollie, where they're, of course, at different points, right? Ollie's coming off injury, Yared's been kind of clicking off really well. How do you kind of prepare both of them for this mile?
Well, for me, I think I have the best miler group in the world. I got 3 guys that were 3:29, and then the slow guy is Jordy Beamish, who's the world champion. So, but I don't think that's going to last for super long, that he's going to be the slow guy, because today I think he could have just let it out and kept it going. Honestly, he looked so good. And so I think, for me going into this race, I really wanted to set up the race good for Ollie, and so that's why I kind of asked George last minute, and he made it. We asked for 2:52, and he was 2:53, which on a blustery day, it was good. And then I kind of thought Yared would keep it rolling, but Ollie was full of fight today, and I think that's the thing that I love about Ollie is. He's a fighter, but Yared sniffs the finish, and he wants it too. And so they had a really good battle, actually, and so that, I think it was validating for me to see where Ollie's at, because I know where Yared's at from his indoor season, and Ollie's getting better each week. And so for me, watching that and watching Ollie have that fight and get in there, that just shows really good momentum to me.
Can you just talk about Addy, her signing with On? I mean, what's kind of the feelings that you had, not only like through the process, but the announcement and everything?
Yeah, I mean, it's a parent's dream come true, and I mean, she's making a name for herself now, and I'm just so proud of her, and she had some options on these NILs, honestly, so she had some pretty good options, but at the end of the day, this was something that I think she was really comfortable with, and I know that it's been a great brand for me. They supported our family very well, and when push came to shove and she had those choices, she wanted the one that she felt really good about. And so for her to see her do this and have fun and enjoy it, like, she's just loving it. Her coach was able to come out here, and she had a teammate in the race, and she just had fun. And last year I took her last minute here because she hit her head in Arcadia and got 27 stitches that day and couldn't race. And so, she was a freshman and it was pouring rain, and this year she gets to go out in a nice big stadium and run an amazing race and come off from signing her NIL, and that was really cool to see.
We haven't seen a ton of high school athletes sign with On quite yet. It's been a lot of
She's the first.
She's the first.
Yeah.
So, I mean, do you think that's going to cause somewhat of a wave?
Well, I mean, I hope so. There's other brands have signed high school athletes. I mean, our competitors are signing high school athletes, and so she's the national cross country champion and rising star. And I think she's put herself in a position where through a lot of hard work. I mean, she has good genetics, but she works really hard. She has a really good coach. Her team is really, really good, and I just get to be dad, and so I get to watch it happen. And so for us, though, we look at those athletes, and whether it's signing an athlete as an NIL in college or high school or even a pro athlete, we look at those athletes and how do they align with our brand. And if we see those athletes, we want to support them and we want them to continue to develop. And for Addy, that was, as her dad, I separate the brand from the dad, and I say I want to see her just to continue to develop, and no pressure. She gets to do whatever she wants. She doesn't have to go to the meets that are sponsored by that brand, and her team goes somewhere else. With this, she gets to go where she wants, where her team goes, which I think is important for a high school athlete. And so I get to be more hands off and just watch her and be excited and let her coach do the thing. And so that's I hope that other athletes, if we see those athletes, I mean, that's not my job. My job is coaching pros. So my boss is the brand guys. That's up to them.
What was the feeling when she crossed the line first the other day?
It was cool. We knew she was in good shape, and I asked her coach how she's doing, and I don't really know, and he told me kind of some of her workouts. I was like, sounds like she'll be pretty fit, and I think she run really fast with some competition, that was pushing her the whole way, and she'll get that in the end of the season meets. I mean, there's some really strong high school girls right now, and so she's very excited for the postseason, but also their state meets in 3 weeks, and their state, Colorado took the top 3 podium spots in women's at cross nationals, and so she's in a state where there's really good competition, so they'll have that, and then she'll have some 1 or 2 postseason races, and then she'll take a big long break and just keep building from there. And it's been cool to see though.
Good job, man. Really
Thanks,
appreciate it.